by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 15. The Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra.
Masaji Mejira Baraji, Majamana,
Thus did I hear at one time the Bhagavan was dwelling on Messi Goshi's mountain in Rajagriha, community of Bodhisattvas. Also at that time the Bodhisattva master Mahavira was commentary practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, and in all those 500 years also speaking of divine nature. Being Buddha Buddha, Buddha actually any son of Buddha perfection of wisdom. He is so perfect in the Bodhisattva Mahasattva area of which he is born. Witness to the Venerable Chandrakirti, any son of Buddha, correctly and efficient, not fulfilled. Consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Chandrakirti, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond era, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as the truth since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan having thus spoken, the Venerable Charabhatiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagavan. Verse 25. Idam Guru Ratnamandala Kandriyatayami. Sanje Chadan Saji Chanan La Janjo Bado Dani Jasa Tage Chujin Jibe Sanan Ji Dola Pinji Sanje Do
Sanje Janan Zaji Shanan La Chanjo Bada Dani Jasum Chi Dagi Chujingi Lola Vene Sanje Rabara Sho Sanje Chadan Zaji Shanan La Chanjo Bada Dani Jasum Dagi Chujingi Sunam Chi Hangada Zanyi Zanyi Dawa Zanji Bamayi Dameshin Denze Kodam de lan jan zan lan don yin yin je san de je be lan che je ze kan je den de chana be mo den de je zan lan so de so shin de den de on den ze la ma ro mo je da ki chu be meditation ka den jin be ko ne je zan de ko zan do jin wo de do so da gu no kom ji kya shi tan da di san je chu dan so ji chon na chen ju pa de dan ni kya chi da ji so ji wa 그래서 다기 최년기 위해서 남기 돌아본지 선제도 하셔서 당에 다기 최세기 위해서 남기 돌아본 다들 굴롱기 시그널에는 다라래 산제 초등서 chan주받다는 겹시 겸로 체라 그래서 디나는 요 상황다 남바리도 제가 겸로 시기로 당보대 시간 당보대 근데 다기 최년기 위해서 남기 땅에 드리는 최년 곰 잡치에 되게 상마 안에 도와도 심지 탐제를 펜베시 산제지 고마 되게 줄을 도와 주지 세다 꾸노 찬주심 꾸노 감도 다 심지니 꾸노 상마디나라 측디나라 뒤대 요레스 어디마 측디 삼당기 당기 전에 디그레 상상 꾸노 야고지 제쇼스라
So, first of all, I'd like you to set forth as sound altruistic motivation as possible. Just as we just finished reciting Refuge Bodhicitta stanza, there the first two lines pertain to refuge, and the third line, the third line in the context of receiving and giving teaching, recipients say, through the marriage I've gained through listening, receiving teachings. And the Guru says, through the marriage I've gained from giving teachings. Dollar Panjas, thank you, Drupa Shaw. May I achieve the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Since everyone here is a Buddhist, so we are fully entitled to do and contemplate the meaning of Refuge Bodhicitta's stanza. So please recite this stanza in your head and then be guided by the lines of the stanza to redefine your motivation, please. Thank you.
아니 믹스에 따티네 곰자당 크리네 니 신변 바식도 더치긴 시야도 삼다나 야야고
It is also good to think to yourself, particularly today, whatever I do in terms of meditation, getting teachings and so on, it's all Shenpin for the benefit of Mother Sentient Beings.
어다 심지 신규 팬도 치야 니버당 줄래 요마레서 탄다 수줄레 메디다 술라도 삼다인데 아니 심지 탐제 거와드네서 그 동일에 껴베 니버에 마디 아니 군조숨 냐지 그래 tinza 아니 디치드네 다 군조숨지 겹숨 다니 다자도 마셔져도 템베다고 또 마준딘데 아니 겹유디 세다고 인스로 거와드네서 그 동일에 껴베 니버디 다자도 마셔져도 왜 zorjuwa 네 지주지 와세다 제가 단제라 또 대인산데 겹유 세다고 인스 잠조기 유라 세 데스탑로
As soon as we have determined to do everything for the benefit of Mother Sentient Beings, we realize we have a lot of constraints at the moment. No, we are not able to do it, and yet we want to do it. And therefore, we need to seek support to enable us to do that, and we therefore go for refuge to the three jewels, the Buddha embodies all the three jewels in one, and so visualize Buddha surrounded by all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas before one, and then turn wholeheartedly to them to get that ability, skills to render service for Mother Sentient Beings.
다디네 안둥기 자비기 윤데 템베토네니 단다디 점로심지 스팅도 된다 간들라지 고데 하버드 마지 딜르르제지 되스라
Recalling expert qualities of or the expertise the three jewels have, particularly the Buddha. Then please recite
sikti jamdo
please recite the refuge section of the Kandil Hagyama. Slowly.
3 times.
3 times.
I go for refuge to the triple gem. I shall liberate all sentient beings, to lead them to an enlightened state. I generate purely an enlightened pleasure. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I shall liberate all sentient beings, to lead them to an enlightened state. I generate purely an enlightened pleasure. I go from refuge to the triple tree. I shall liberate all sentient beings, to lead them to an enlightened state. I generate purely and enlightened light.
我这个都了，今天当时我当这呢，俺们前月的他那个机动用着个，机用着不是，俺们去当这些个月吧。那就用我当这呢，俺们没些，俺这前月的，他的他的什么些呢？他的我就用着了的，教育大家都没学习透的，你做就出去教学的教的，他这大家都没学习透了，听着，俺大家都没学习透的呀。就是基本的嘛，就是쌤 기생 때 제롬 버전데 팀데요. 어디라 마 팀. 근데 네 쌤 담아다 다시 좀 시제도 배 구성투 오이메 규제는 수술이야. 덤베게 다 구성투 기친로 주베 가와당 대화당 대화당 근데 믹세게 다지 가디 차와진지 아니 계주 상고요를 다디
Now here, what I like us to do is to visualize vivid presence of Buddha Shakyamuni before us. Okay, and then all Buddhas that you have visualized now dissolve into Buddha. Buddha Shakyamuni then comes to the top of one's crown of head and then dissolves, enters one through one's crown aperture, and that Shakyamuni Buddha, now who embodies, who is the epitome of all Buddhas, dissolves into Lama Tsongkhapa that you had yesterday and that you have now, and then Buddha and the Lama Tsongkhapa's mind merge indivisibly, and there, recalling also the fact that your mind and the Lama Tsongkhapa's mind have also merged indivisibly, non-dually. As a result, now feel with the dissolution of the Buddha into Lama Tsongkhapa, thereby into you, you have received the blessings of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas via Buddha, via Lama Tsongkhapa. And as a result, you are now filled with its hitherto unknown governments of joy, well-being, and then a fervent regard towards all the objects of refuge.
어다 되네 도자도 마셔je 토와당 라마 종가에 친랍지도기 수수셈나라다 뉴드다 산제지 고모 마탐나나 심지 텐도 투면도 제니다 아니 단다에 뒤들라 아니 뉴원이도 산제지 고마타베 탑랑지를 마디 라마 종가에 템바들라 또 티인자니 라마 종가와데 다자도 마셔je 구구자 숭숭자 뒤치되네 간델하지 냠네 데제네 대치도다 간델하지 남아종가와 들리는가 간데네만 된데 슈제네 양자 20원에 됐다 간델 슈요를 단다르와 간데네 찍됐다 니네 주제 참고공부다 남아종가와 토규 지과인 바데 두용고요를 어딘데게 인주게 냠네 제발라 때네 뉴드 산제지 고마 토고도 대인자 아니게 지진 참복건배 두건에 마양야 지압세 세다 제와 아니 초신 수도니 뉴드 산제발라 초사 디변치고도 대 초사 디변치엘라 아니 야비 초신 세다고 대지도 아니 초신 세다고 예 삼배 굴롱당 삼바든 대지 키웨타네 아니 간델라제 군기 두건에 사디 간델라제 군기 두건에 라거셔서 분들신들이 최저 군준로산데 세드 저네 시에서 소요세데 소신세바 세다바 데리 어디 디에드로
So, come to this realization that unless you have support and the guidance of the objects of refuge, one is not going to be able to deliver one's promise to work for sentient beings. Yet I do feel the urgency to carry out my wishes as soon as possible. Therefore, I turn to you, Lama Tsongkhapa, in whom is now Buddha. And it is in the system of philosophy, the system of practice, and in its entirety shown by Lama Tsongkhapa, that I find the way to achieve the state of Buddhahood. And to this end, I turn to you. Because Lama Tsongkhapa, you represent Buddha's form, Buddha's speech, Buddha's mind. And I turn to you. And to this end, I request you to come to the Pure Land, from the heart of, amidst the cloud, from the heart of Maitreya Buddha. By the way, this also establishes that Maitreya and Lama Tsongkhapa are of the same nature or continuum. And then, anyways, reciting the first stanza of the 100 Tatus of the Joyous Land, visualize the flight from Ganden to the Pure Land amidst cloud of Lama Tsongkhapa with the two disciples to act as the presiding objects of refuge, and who will, in relation to whom I will engage in Tsoksa deep judgments to gather merits and purify my negativities. To this end, I request you to come before me.
Could you
please recite the first stanza slowly?
Surface of the earth in every direction, as smooth as the palm of child's hand, naturally polished as the lapis lazuli. And may all sides be completely filled with the material offerings of gods and men, both those set before me and those meant to be created, by the fearless clouds of Manantavaja offerings. From the heart of the protector of the hundreds of deities of the land of joy, comes the cloud that resembles a mass of fresh white earth. Omniscient Lord Chandrakirti, King of the Dharma, together with your sons, I request you to come here now.
지난주에 간디 이거 준진 주진 참박 공부 두거네 주진 참박 공부 이해되라. 저주반대 아디샤네 주베네 라마 망고지가 상담나 되게다. 유연데 주진 드라마 कर्म 예송라 주진 드라마 कर्म 조규에 이담게 하단제와 당 아니 단단 까담게 다 기회신예도 상마 유하다 간디 이거 준진 슈디요. 조지반디 아디샤 가와 슈사델 페사델라다 간당 비지드스 피로고요. 제가 조지반디 아디샤 간디가 주는 슈데요스 고라 어딘데스 제지 메바체나 야고요레스
It is also good to visualize Atisha and white Tara to the right and the left of Maitreya into the Pure Land. When we visualize Lamatsangkhapa coming from the clouds of amidst the clouds from the heart of Maitreya, so then at that time it's good to visualize Atisha on the right of Maitreya, Vatara to the left of Maitreya, and wherever there's Atisha, they are bound to be the masters of a Kadamba tradition, and therefore so visualize masters of a Kadamba tradition to the right and to the left of Maitreya too.
다데네 제르모셴게 지울라 다니 빼좀 다는데 뭐고질라 잠배양 고고다 안중에마 여기에마네 제레시고에 송송에 제레시고에 대세야 삼문다양을 대도 가서나 제레시 데 군도 가고체 아니 지우 엄네 지우 엄가버봐 딘데게 삼문다양 대로시도 지단 망보지 지든 잠배양 지우를 거 같은데 여기 겨케요 맞다 수수카레 삼문다양 대야다 딘데 유나 고샤나 디그레 네 제레시 지우를 거 제레식 차시바디 제르마쳔기 지불라 다디 제레식 두고라 아니 제레식레 옴아 홍세치로 니 야 지진 디치난 디기요레 제르마쳔 지불라 옴체 옴그나라 아니 제레식체 제레식나라 옴아 홍체 두세다 나야고요 다 dimbola ache agnala ani jambeyan che ani jambeyan thugla yang a hung che ani tewala hung che tewala hung mare a hung tam ro hung la ji hung de la de gongoro hung de ta ninga de la daja tomba shaje to ko daja tomba shaje de thugala jawa doji changko jawa doji chang thugala 아니 이게 홍고 아니 때와라 담로 와담 때와 담라 아니 차나도지 이게 아니 조옴아 홍스도스 어두스 곰 다데 디나시 마르다 세 두니라 옴가 아마 홍마 옴아 홍 수스 곰샤는데 제르무싱 지오옴 dimba 아토가 홍사 디엘라 하고나데 데스멘다도 디에디 두스 검나 안에 야고요래 안에 디미믹즈 마사르인데 창마디 남 되는거다.
So to do a complete or rather more complete visualization of Lama Tsongkhapa as being embodiment of Buddha's enlightened form, speech, mind, and activity. You could visualize on jewelments on the crown of the head, Avalokiteshvara, four-armed Avalokiteshvara. Although it has to be said, there are a lot of texts which say that, and on the crown of Lama Tsongkhapa you visualize Manjushri, but my own master taught me to visualize Avalokiteshvara, and it makes sense too, because on Lama Tsongkhapa's three places crown of head, throat, and heart. You visualize Om Hum. Om is white, and therefore Avalokiteshvara is white in color. So for ease of our visualization, and on the crown of Lama Tsongkhapa, visualize four-armed Avalokiteshvara, and then the three places of Avalokiteshvara are marked by Om Hum again, and then at the heart, at the throat of Lama Tsongkhapa, visualize Amavron, and Amavron Yos Gyugudibal. I've also forgotten in translation, Geshe-la says, another slight variation is to visualize Om on the crown of Lama Tsongkhapa, and inside Om you could visualize a four-armed Avalokiteshvara, whose three places are marked by three letters. Now, at the throat of Lama Tsongkhapa is red R, inside which is Manjushri, whose three places are accordingly marked by Om Hum. At the heart of Lama Tsongkhapa is Hum, and inside the Hum, then there is Shakyamuni Buddha, at whose heart is Vajradhara, then marked by Om Hum. At the navel is Dam. So at the navel is a syllable Tam, and syllable Tam. Inside that is Vajrapani, the lord of wrathful activity, and his three places are marked by Om Hum. So if you do this visualization, it goes really well with what Miksama says.
이게 베다 omkawe number 0와 omkawe number din nala ani 제레시기와 아니 아마we number din nala 아니 잠배야 요와 인데지 상당 샤비나 아니 비진야고 용서래 요서래.
So now again preempting some questions. How could we visualize the deities inside the letter? So it is also possible to visualize the three letters Om, Hum, and Tam, marking the four places of Lama Tsongkhapa as a halo of white Om, inside which then Avalokiteshvara, halo of red light, halo of blue light, and a green light, and inside which you visualize these respective deities. It will make it easier to come to terms with one's visualization.
I'm sorry,
thank you, Geshe-la. And as well as to the right of Lama Tsongkhapa and to the left of Lama Tsongkhapa are the two disciples, and then also visualize Om, Hum, respectively, at their three places.
So that's called
Chokshin Sedaba, visualizing merit field.
Chok said the sonang Chosa, Sing said the Shingagan Lodo Tapkutni Kigiorva, then she down the Ani Gavu said that Della Choa Pu Child says Jebina, and Zulaya Sonam lapchenbush saisegi shingsong za soxing ladi tilagu yoro.
So it's such a visualization of enlightened beings and present their feeling their presence is called Tsokshing. Tsok means merits, could be often, Tsok means merits, as well as accumulation of both merit and wisdom, and then their presence before one is the fertile alluvial soil, the fertile field of alluvial soil where merits can be cultivated in great abundance.
Dadine di wodine madire yenla dunji gone da so sadu yenla dunji gone chosa yenla dunla de khalsana ngazo mijila kanla dun chazan yobe yina ani lega shukchombo chedo gorwa dig chendere yenla duns lagoya de ani cha chawane chimeda ani nyangele midebe soada was te paro de yenla dun yorwa tila yenla dun lagwa de khalsana ani ngazo di le ta sonam sonam saya da digba shaya da chazan je pe nuba top chombo ji yong go yin de le yin la dun ji ko ne cha di jan che wa sa de be ja ming ko rang ko den ro chi de yores.
So then the next set of stanzas after the first pertain to Yala Dun, and previous translation said 7 limbs, and then people get different feeling about limbs. So then anyway, I'll call it, this translator uses the term 7 sublimes. So from sublime practice of prostration to requesting to stay until the end of samsara, and so anyway, the 7 sublimes, and so as many as 7 practices are done to bring about a massive manufacture of merit, almost like at a huge scale rather than on a small scale.
Ta yin la dun de dirwa cha che wa che chuo pu wa che chanzao da chu ji shakba che ani chanzao da chu shakba dang ji su yi rang xin ji ge wa ji su yi rang an chung go go nyangele me de so da sro an ngo wa yi sro wa du dun dirwa da de le yin la dun so ra chanzao da chu shakba da ji su yi rang gu yi so 교화 중세 다죠 탐지도 진주 침몽으로 어디를 인라드인데레스.
Although the 7 sublimes or 7 practice, namely they are the sublime practice of prostration, sublime practice of offering, sublime practice of purification, sublime practice of rejoicing, sublime practice of requesting, teaching, sublime practice of requesting presence, timeless presence before one, and then sublime practice of dedication.
다 용달라 양엘에 메데베 소다와 디메 투바데 치기도 아들이 간딜하제라 당보들에 요래 제단다 먼저 제스스 다 예스스 다라메 뭐 예메 친 소다 인상 다 지지 찬주닝부 산지 고마마도 봐도네 다 슈그로치 신양엘에 메데베 소다 와사데 직제 당보데 저거여라.
So in the normal list of 7 sublimes, Nyangele Metta Sawatava, requesting Lama Tsongkhapa to remain timelessly, is 6. However, in the 100 deities of the joyous land, it is number 1 in the list. for a good reason, and that is before you do anything, you ask Lama Tsongkhapa, who is at once inseparable from your own guru, to remain uh, until the end of samsara, for until the end of samsara to until the end of samsara and until you have achieved the state of enlightenment, to receive and to receive offerings and so on, and then to give blessings.
Tidirwa dungi nanga sidi bende den chizu lama jiwe zungwa jen talo dewe suna shinju tenpa ji geja shuzi su sadi nyangalemi dewe sawa tawa di che rwa.
So Dungyun Nangpa Singdi Bangde in the space before me, atop the line, raised, throne, and so on, that spells out the practice of requesting their presence.
Ta cha zewe yanla di shinje chungun jewa lodo do kesa newe jiyu le shesu tawo pinji leme zewe ke tundu dime tundu la chak tse sa di cha zewe yanla di che.
So then, Sheje Kyungyunje Lotuto, the next stanza pertains to prostration, sublime practice of prostration, where it says, your Sheche Kyungyunche.
Also beja de yu na.
I think you have got, haven't you? Yeah. So
the Lausanne give one. Lausanne don't have.
No. It has gone to maybe to Shita Pure Land. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. So your minds have the intellect that comprehends all the full extent of phenomena. So that is prostration.
다들 내 신제 중근지 너도 되는 동안 통도 되면 된다 차체 넣어서 다들 내 이원圈나서 매도다 지신도 원나서 지셔서 뭐现在 주는 여선나 신제 주는 추업했어 다 추업으로들어 단도 추업은이라.
Next stanza, which begins Yung Chuyin, placing water offerings, various flowers, fragrant incense light, and scented water, and so on, are present to you, supreme field of merit. That is offering, the sublime practice of offering. No.
알레다 대전한테 뒤에 차체니데 유나 간델하제단데 내가 차체나 단데 고데라 신제 중근지가 로도 계산내외 지를 시송 타법이긴 하면서 텐데르면 텐데라 차체 대가돌라 아니 차체 아니 대가돌라 동샤다 지샤다 저도 이제 차체나 디고 대가돌라 봐 이제 디네 신제 중근지가 로도 투스되다 구송 투나네다 일러 봐 아니 계산내외 지를 시 계산나외 진실의 시 송스의 송제 타법이 일하면 제베 구스의 구송 투송 다구 나도 다데 르가 이송의 차데 천되는데 시행 거로 아니 제FS 송 제르모 챙기 구 아니 구 첨배 세서 지은데 딜이야 굴레 차세와 등한도 르지 차세와들에 다 르지 뒤중한서 직장자 꿈자 데 책도 데도 르 차세와 르지 다 차세워서도 구배도 되는 거. 아니 되네 가지고네 아니 다 차세로서 도부야당 동시에 지샤라서 받다 된제 지하도 나가 차세. 다 이기 차데 또 아니 구샵치요다. 제 지하세송 초주기어의 세지 연대 팀배고네 되라. 그거 다 이기 차데 또래 다 지나시는 구배도 같아. 구두치와 들어와. 어디 롱아 유송이 차세된 거다. 고등한 뒤나를 내용 거여로.
There are people who like to do prostration practice. In relation to Gandhin Hagyama, the 100 deities of the joyous land. So if you could recite this, the third stanza of the third stanza of the thing, Sheje Kyungin Jeva Lotutu, it these three lines of the stanza spell out qualities of Lama Tsongkhapa's mind, his speech, qualities of speech, qualities of his form, and a prostate to whom to behold, hear, recall is worthwhile. So you could recite the stanza and then also recite, if you like, confession Buddha practice, 35 Buddha confession practice. And so chak tel means prostration, is a mark of paying respect. So when you when you prostrate, you can full body prostration or five limbs touching the ground prostration or half prostration. So you are prostrating to the form of Lama Tsongkhapa and remembering qualities of his form. And when you actually recite, for example, 35 Buddha confessions text or general confession text, so that's prostration of speech. And then when you recall, while doing that, when you recall immense qualities, inspiring immense qualities that Lama Tsongkhapa has, and your heart, your mind is drawn towards those qualities, and that fervent feeling, attraction you have to those qualities is yichak, mental prostration of the three. The last is much more significant.
Oh, that's it. That magic don't should chazan.
Loss. So could you now so could you now recite right from the beginning?
Yeah.
I go for refuge to the triple gem.
Sit
I
down,
shall
mother.
liberate all sentient beings, to lead them to an enlightened state. I generate purely an enlightened motive. May the surface of the earth in every direction be pure without even a pebble, as smooth as the palm of a child's hand, naturally polished as is lapis lazuli. And may all space be completely filled with the material offerings of gods and men, both these set before me and those mentally created, as appear in the cloud Samatavajra offerings. From the heart of the protector of the hundreds of deities of the land of joy, comes a cloud that resembles a mass of fresh white curd. Omniscient Chandrakirti, King of the Dharma, together with your sons, I request you to come here now. O venerable Gurus with white smiles of delight, seated on light thrones close to the moon in the space of glory, I request you to remain for hundreds of eons in order to spread the teaching, and be the supreme field of merit for my mind of faith. Your minds have the intellect that comprehends the full extent of what can be known. Your speech with its excellent explanations becomes the ear ornament for those of good fortune. Your bodies are radiantly handsome with glory renowned. I prostrate to you whom to behold, hear, or recall is worthwhile. Living water offerings, various flowers, fragrant incense, light, and scented water.
In ocean acting and visualize cloud
offerings.
I present to you supreme ring field of virtues of body, speech, and mind. I have committed from the beginning of time, especially any transgressions of my three vows. I confess again and again.
Bring it without from my heart.
From the depths of our heart rejoice, O Protector, in the great waves of your deeds, who you serve to learn and practice in this regenerate age, and made meaningful by abandoning aid towards worldly feelings. O holy, venerable Lama, from the clouds of compassion that form the skies of Dhammakaya wisdom, please release our vast knowledge and profound karma, precisely in accordance with the needs of those to be trained. I dedicate whatever wishes I have collected for the benefit of teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losung Tangpa. By directing the field of the brothers Mandala, a vast, less abundant flowers, heavenly water and incense, adorned with Mount Meru and the four continents, the sun and the moon, to all sentient beings. Yam Guru Ratna Mandala Pamniya Tayami.
I sing forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Gurus.
By the force of having fervently requested in this way, all the rays of white light and emitted from the hearts of venerable fathers and sons, the ends of which combine into one, enter ground in my head. By the white nectar full of milk that comes through the pathway of my divine blood, I am cleansed of sickness, disturbance, non-virtuous, obstacles, and instincts without exception.
And my body becomes as pure and clear as crystal. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of compassion, not aimed at true existence, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hordes of demons without exception. O Sankapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snow, Lokshatraka, I make request at your feet.
다 미즈마 탕이네 네 욱 비딩 exercise 기능나 신치제네 욱 중우단단 피부케신 시에죠 어디 다 당기 저 엄가 좀 아투가 홍어 뭐야 왜 가을로디 지원내래 마우도 슬레제네 욱 님도래야네 피부케신 시에지 좀 잡쇼스라.
So now, please keep reciting Mikzama and also do breathing exercise, breathing meditation. So when you you inhale, remember white light rays come from the crown of Lama Tsongkhapa, and then does performs respective function or functions. Then the red are sort of a red light, blue light, and so on. Each one does its own function, and keep reciting mentally, also visualizing while breathing.
뭐 미즈마 틱스탕 이 엔데네 욱 팀에 가둘 미즈마 탕 말에 욱 코랑가 삼당으로.
Sorry. First recite Mikzama few times mentally. After that, do the breathing visualization. And of course, when you do that, your mind should be on visual breathing and visualization, not reciting.
뭐야, 다 되셔.